Our focus to Iran because on Monday, a closed-door discussion was held in the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defensive Committee in Israel with the participation of an IDF representative who answered questions from the members of the Knesset that were present at that meeting. One of the things that she told them was that Iran has returned to producing ballistic missiles at a high rate with the goal of restoring full operational readiness. Even now, as before the war, the IDF's concern is a barrage that includes hundreds of ballistic missiles at once. It's important to point out that following their devastating defeat in the 12-day war in June, Iran had the option to choose whether to shelve the aspiration to destroy the state of Israel and pursue economic rehabilitation of a country collapsing under a severe financial crisis. But they appear to be taking a different course. Instead of caring for the welfare of the people, their own people, the Ayatollah regime, which rules Iran, choose continued armament and are saying yes to war with Israel. Operation Rising Lions began with Israel achieving complete strategic surprise and paralyzing many Iranian capabilities. This was done mainly to create freedom of action for the air forces, the Mossad, and the military intelligence. And when the achievement was in its hands, Israel acted on two tracks to demolish the nuclear project and the ballistic missile project. Although significant damage was done to both of these projects in Iran, and this is according to increasing reports in the West, Iran is renewing its ballistic missile project, and Israel will not sit idle by in the face of a threat that proved itself in the 12-day war when the entire nation sat in shelters and in ballistic missile threats with deadly warheads on their way to the Jewish homeland.
Home Depot hates when you do this, but they can't stop you.
Check this out. Looks like I spent
Direct hits on hospitals and on also strategic locations as well as civilian neighborhoods in the land of Israel. Only around 10% of the ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise missiles that were fired at Israel by Iran managed to penetrate our air defensive systems, while the Israeli Air Force achieved full air superiority over the Iranian skies and inflicted massive damage on strategic targets all over the country. In the months since, Iranians have suffered terrible hardships from the ongoing drought, air pollution in cities, and many other problems, but the regime has largely ignored this and remains focused on its obsession and its hatred against Israel. The Ayatollah regime and the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps continue to devote most of their time, money, and resources to rebuilding the arsenal of ballistic missiles, sending a clear message that they haven't had enough and that they're ready for another round of conflict with the Jewish state of Israel. Furthermore, the large sums of money transferred to Hezbollah alongside the smuggling of weapons into Lebanon prove that Iran has not abandoned its murderous ideology. Lebanon is a theater that threatens all of us, but it must be addressed. But Iran must also be dealt another blow so that they won't pose an even bigger threat than what they posed in June in the last round of fighting. So the IDF representative who participated in this discussion at the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee warned that in Tehran they are not only rebuilding the missile array, but doing so rapidly and resolutely, using older production methods and bypassing the severe damage that their manufacturing facilities have suffered in the war. According to the assessment, this development places Israel before a renewed and a tangible threat from Iran. And at the same time, Iran continues to display power on the military stage. So last Friday, the Revolutionary Guards reported a large-scale drill in the Persian Gulf that included a massive launch of cruise missiles of the Ghadar 110, Ghadar 380, and the Ghadar 360 models, alongside a ballistic missile of the 302 model. So according to Iran's Press TV, this is a media portal in Iran, all targets in the Gulf of Oman were hit with high accuracy. The Revolutionary Guards Navy emphasized that the drill focused on increased use of artificial intelligence and was presented as proof of the unyielding spirit of the resistance in the face of any kind of foreign threat. So I'm very, very curious. what do you think about all of this? Is Iran showing the world an unyielding spirit of resistance? And if so, what are they resisting? It seems to me like they're resisting the opportunity to give their people a decent quality of life by devoting all their resources to a pointless and unnecessary conflict with Israel, which is a country that they do not share a border with, and no other natural source of friction. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section. In the meantime, it's important to remember that earlier this month, Iran also hosted an international military exercise with members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in East Azerbaijan province. Iranian media claimed it was a message of peace and friendship to neighbors, but none of Iran's neighbors seem to feel like that's what was going on over there. In the West, there are fears of a miscalculation that will lead to a new confrontation amidst increased warnings that Iran is building up its arsenal of ballistic missiles using older but still reliable methods and technology after losing their most recent developed production capability in the 12-day war between Israel, the US, and Iran. And according to sources familiar with the situation, Israel conveyed messages to Iran that it has no interest in striking again. But the response from Tehran was that Israel is lying. A senior European ambassador warned this week that although Washington is not expected to give a green light to Israel for a broad strike in Iran in the near term, an Israeli military action against Tehran could occur within the next year. In any case, the drills, the statements, and the reports of high-rate missile production paint a frightening picture that Iran is determined to rebuilding its military capabilities to pose a direct threat to Israel and to make clear that any attempt to harm it will be met with massive missile barrages. In Israel, they are watching closely, but the feeling is that the clock is ticking and that the next confrontation may be closer than it seems. And here, at TBN Israel, we will continue to report on every development on this matter, so keep spreading the truth, share, follow us, and most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to TBN Israel on YouTube to help us reach more people with boots on the ground.
Super Cheap hates when you do this, but they can't stop.